Annually, there are about 40,000 evictions filed in Dallas County, which is about an average of 107 evictions per day.
And we use eviction filing data as a good but imperfect proxy for housing stability.
Housing stability is important for a child's development, whether that be physical, emotional, and even their academic achievement, and can really impact a family unit as a whole.
All the ingredients for upward economic mobility are really wrapped up in housing. So if we can find ways to prevent or mitigate eviction, all their other outcomes are better.
All evictions have to go through a justice of the peace court, and these courts were initially designed to not need lawyers. The reality in these JP courts is if you don't have a lawyer, you get about a 32% chance of getting a positive outcome. If you have a lawyer, you have an 87% chance of getting a positive outcome in your hearing. The landlords learned that since there was no one on the other side to fight them and create some accountability, they could just use the courts as a rubber stamp, oftentimes without presenting any evidence at all. And when I realized that the level of injustice wasn't just a fringe issue, it was the rule, not the exception, it pissed me off. I got this crazy idea that I called saturation theory. If the problem is this lack of accountability, then the solution is to create the inverse. And the only way you can do that is to have a lawyer in every court every day representing every tenant. There's only 10 JP courts in the whole county. Every eviction must go through one of those courts. So we really only need to be in 10 places at one time, standing at the ready to represent every single tenant that walks in that door and saturate these courts with justice for possibly the first time in the history of the state of Texas.
Even though eviction filing data was part of the public record, it wasn't accessible. And so CPAL started working with Dallas County to figure out how we might unlock that data so that we would have almost a real-time record of eviction filing activity.
Plaintiff information, tenant information, property names.
We then began sharing eviction filing data with Mark and his team so that they could proactively do outreach to tenants.
We send a postcard to every single person that we have an address for, and that's the majority of them, saying an eviction has been filed under your name in this zip code. If you want free legal representation, please contact us. We are here to help. A lot of times, they receive their postcard before the constable has even been able to deliver their eviction notice.
All of our attorneys and all of our legal assistants every single day do docket prep. We're looking for dispositive issues, tax status, filing status of the landlord. Are they compliant with certain federal laws? Are they compliant with certain state laws that allow them to even proceed with an eviction?
If I have 30 cases on the docket, 60 cases on the docket, I have a baseline of them information and sometimes baseline defenses before I even speak to the tenant.
That would not be possible without the CPAL data.
We try to arrive to court an hour beforehand.
Set up our sign, it says free attorneys for tenants.
And we're just trying to help as many people as possible.
All of a sudden you have a line of 10 or 12 people that want to talk to you. Sometimes you only have 20 seconds to talk. So it's chaos.
They have so many questions and we don't have enough time to go over every single one in that moment.
Tell them what the law is and we tell them what their options are. If we have to fight this, what are the arguments that we can go with?
And a lot of those arguments come from the research that we do with the information that CPAL provides.
I think we might be the only organization in the country utilizing the docket prep in that way.
In many of the cases that I handle, it's the difference between me winning and losing a case.
And these are all people's lives that you're now responsible for, that you have to go into the courtroom and argue about whether or not they should be put on the streets or be allowed to stay in their home.
That's really the power of data in this instance, is creating a shared understanding of the problem, building momentum around solutions, and then also tracking progress over time. Are we doing better? Are we seeing fewer eviction filings? Are we seeing more people staying securely housed?
Last year, we represented 5,175 families. If we win just 60% of the time, that creates $182 million of net economic benefit, and it saves taxpayers $40.6 million. We won way more than 60% of those cases.